Let's take a minute and optimize our energy. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration, so focusing on how you feel is a way of knowing what your vibration is, and everything that you're experiencing in life is happening through resonance. Everything you experience comes to you as resonant with an aspect of your active energy. This is what people talk about when they say you experience life as organized by the law of attraction, or based on your momentum energetically. It's real and energetic resonance, regardless of what name you give it, is how energy organizes and unfolds as experience. So taking a moment to optimize your vibration and therefore your momentum is really good. It's beneficial, too, before receiving a channel transmission, because the better your energy state when you receive the transmission, the more you're available, through resonance, to the upper frequencies and the transmission. Transmissions from Archangel Michael and the Council of Radiant Light are full-spectrum transmissions of energy. There's a broad spectrums of energies available in the transmission, and each of you receive in relationship to your present energy state. You understand this kind of experience in life, if you think about it. Sometimes you encounter something and it has a particular effect on you. Then you revisit it again later and it has a different effect on you, potentially a richer effect on you. This is because of your dynamically evolving energy state. It may even have a diminished effect. This is all about your energy state because everything is harmonics, everything is vibration, and we perceive and connect with what's resonant with us in all realms of focus. That's the essence, in a way, of the law of attraction, which says, like and like are coming together, drawn together. That's how things are organized. Everything is organized energetically based on vibrational resonance, and time and space are organized by vibration. Okay, so we're going to say one more thing about this because it may not be evident to all of you. Time is part of our experience, so everything doesn't happen at once, so that we have an unfolding experience, and space is part of our experience so that everything doesn't happen to me and everything doesn't happen to you. Some of it happens to me and some of it happens to you based on where we're in space, which and what we connect with is still what we're resonant with, and so space and time help facilitate what we experience as personal reality. We couldn't have a personal experience of our life if there were not space and time, so space and times are fundamentals to our experience, and our experience of space and time unfolding is what we think of as life. The version of each moment of space and time that we experience is about our energy and what's resonant with our energy, and what momentums we've had going on. Anytime you think of it, taking a moment to optimize your energy state by elevating your vibration, and you know when you feel better and you're elevated more because you feel better, and making it a point in your life to optimize your energy state, is making it a point to be in alignment more often. And alignment, as we've said before, is clarity. Alignment is physical well-being. Alignment is the way to financial abundance. Alignment is authenticity. It's you being purely you, following the expandedness that is you, as you're guided in your embodied experience, so alignment is it. Optimizing your energy makes that possible in the most fulfilled optimized way. Moment to moment.
Hello, Divine Ones. It's great to be with you, and we're excited that we just had this ability to prompt Ailia and explain this a little bit. It takes hearing these things multiple times often to really grasp them, and more than grasp them, hold on to them, because really, a lot of you understand what's being shared here. You get it. When you hear it, you get it, and yet to live it is different. To live it is different. For the orientation to this and the leveraging of it and the skillful making it work for you, to become your standard state of being is different. As we talked about in our last conversation, even though this approach is simple, it's not necessarily easy. It's not easy because it's different than how you've been living. So it is lovely for us to have this chance to connect with you and share with you transmissions that support you in reclaiming who you truly are. As you remember all this, you liberate expanded capacities and empower yourself to be who you truly are, to live in alignment with all you are, and be the being that you are, fully, here. The real you is abundant, and free, and capable, and expansive, and flowing, and eternal, and perfect. You can know the perfection of who you are in your embodiment, and some people would say that's far-fetched, and that's okay because you don't need anybody else to agree with this approach to living for it to be your approach, and for you to get all the benefits of it. You are free and capable and without limitation, and you can experience yourself directly in this way. To live this way in your embodiment is a radical notion, to be sure, for so many on earth simply accept limitations. Because they accept limitations, they make limitation real in their experience. Believing in something, giving it your attention can and does make it very solid in your experience. So the sense that there are limitations and rules is quite real for most people. The stories and ideas that are out in the world, that are commonly held, are often starting from a place that say there are boundaries, and these boundaries include your limitations and rules, and the equations too, of what you must do to get what you want. Often some idea that you must do this, to get that. A transactional relationship, a karmic relationship to embodiment. Most people live their lives believing all these things are solid and questioning very little. In fact, there are very few rules that are part of your experience. There are the ones Ailia was just talking about, such as everything is vibration, you are eternal, that energy is organized through resonance. We would add to that gravity keeps things in space organized. The most important of these is that you sovereignly create your energy, as energy itself is organized by vibrational resonance, so it's organized by infinite intelligence, or what people call the law of attraction. Energy is organized such that your state of being draws to you the essence of that which you are. Or another way to say that which is active in your vibration, in your energy, can come into your experience. You have many active vibrations and many thought forms and beliefs that are also within your energy but inactive. You are free to dynamically alter your state of being, what's active and what's not, moment to moment. Your feelings indicate what your state of being is relative to the fullness of who you really are. And because you can choose how you're focused, you're absolutely free. Beyond those fundamentals are the implications of them, such as you are free to make your experience whatever you wish, and yet so many people don't really feel free to do that. Some of you are still not feeling really at liberty to have the financial abundance you want, and we noticed this in the Q&A last week when there was a question which kind of expressed, when so many people are poor, how can it be okay for me to have this immense financial abundance unless, of course, I use it to help everybody else? So today we want to talk a little bit about these ideas of being sovereign and self-referencing, and to assist you with that. Most human beings have some kind of idea about what it means to make yourself the priority, so we'd like you to check in with yourself right now and get a feel for your own trending belief system on this topic. How do you feel about putting yourself first? Just notice how you feel. Don't feel bad about it. Don't make yourself wrong. Just notice how do you feel about making yourself the priority and putting yourself first. What we know is that most human beings, because there are prevailing ideas in your world, feel that putting yourself first is somehow at odds with caring about other people. Somehow there is this idea that's really well established in your world that when you put yourself first, that choice somehow does not benefit others. There is a pattern of thought which implies that in order to help others, you have to put them first. In order to prove that you care about others, you have to put them first. In order to demonstrate your love for another, you have to care and act like you care about how they feel, not how you feel. It makes you hesitant to do what you want and follow your spirit, In essence, because you're not sure it's really good or right to put yourself first. There is this way of thinking which puts at odds your choice or the choice we're suggesting you make, to please yourself, with the idea that you might also have desires for other people to have happy, good lives, and this is a huge misunderstanding. Seeing it more clearly and dropping the misunderstanding empowers you to claim the freedom of who you really are. Human beings have this idea in general that if you pay attention to yourself, you're somehow going to hurt someone else. Not even that maybe it's not so great, but that often there's this idea that if you do so, someone else will pay for it. This is very backwards because, in fact, the more self-referencing you are, the more you have to give. We're not suggesting you become self-referencing so that you can give to others. We're suggesting you become self-referencing because sovereignty? It's who you truly are. Living in alignment is your normal state, and part of embodiment is the opportunity to reclaim that in a realm in which having access to it makes being here really fun. When you are putting yourself first and paying attention to how you feel, you're in greater alignment. In this state, you're easy to be around. You're not showing up with other people asking or wanting or needing them to do something in particular so that you feel good. You're not creating relationships in which you make someone else feel good and they do the same for you. You've moved beyond transactional and karmic relationships and into an unconditional confidence about creating your state. Your consciousness and you are elevated. Imagine it and what it's like to be around people who are unconditionally happy. A lot of people have these kind of relationships which are about making one another happy, which are often called codependent relationships, relationships where each of them stand on their head in order to please the other and get annoyed when the other person stops acting this way. When you are instead pleasing you, embracing your sovereignty by being self-referencing, you show up fully resourced, aligned, happy, clear, abundant, radiant with well-being. It is from this state of being that you can actually really share your gifts. The most beneficial way to share anything in life, in your personal life, in your business life, at your job, in any kind of relationship, is to share from a space of more than enough. I have more than enough. I'd love to share it. Be it money, be it ideas, be it time or energy, be it insight. Sharing from more than enough is real sharing. It's real sharing, but when you don't have enough and you share, that is a mixed thing. You all know this. You all have had experiences when you were young where someone made you share something you really didn't want to share. What was that like? Usually in this experience there was resentment there. There was some kind of idea internalized that you were to give up what you wanted even if you didn't want to do it. Even if that didn't feel good to you. There was this message that it wasn't okay to want something just for yourself. Can you see that hesitancy to do what matters to you in your life now? Of course you can, you learned this early on. When someone you love tells you to, and then you share something with someone else that you really don't want to give up, you resent the other person. It changes your relationship with them and it takes you out of alignment with who you really are. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's often how it is, particularly when you're young. Usually someone else is coercing you to act in such a way. Then the other part of this? When you're young and you're taught to share when you really don't want to, what happens? The person who is trying to get you to share, they're pleased with you. They tell you so. They affirm this out of alignment mode of being. That's the last part of this equation. You learn that you can get the love of the important person, usually an adult in your life, through doing things they think you should do, regardless of what you want. And then? Stuff in life starts to get confusing. So at his point, now, understanding that everything is vibration and everything is organized energetically through resonance, we're asking you to reconsider your relationship to sharing and to putting yourself first. We want to encourage you to consider that you might have learned, as most humans do, that you can get attention from others when you please them, and this has made life confusing for you. It's made it hard for you to put yourself first and do what matters to you and feel at liberty to make your life as joyful as you crave it to be. When you please other people and they express affection for you, they place positive attention on you, they're kind of giving you an experience that isn't the same as being in alignment, but it's similar in the sense that you get more energy because attention is energy. So when you're taught that the way to get more energy is through pleasing others and then you internalize that pattern, then when someone comes along as we are in this conversation and encourages you to put yourself first, you're inclined to pause. You're inclined to distrust that because you've got years upon years upon years of experience in which really nice things have happened in your life because you did what other people wanted you to do. What we want you to try in this experiment, which we'll remind you is how we're asking you to play with all of this, as an experiment in which you will discern if it's to your benefit or not. To discover not because we say it, but because you discover that you like it and therefore wish to continue with it. In this experiment, we're suggesting that you discover what it's like to have that flow of energy from all that you are. To instead choose alignment, choose feeling good and let all that you are, the source within you, fulfill you. And to feel what it's like to show up fulfilled, fully resourced, clear, in well-being, elated, elevated, flowing freely, connected to the real you, your non-physical wholeness. Discover having momentum because of the alignment with all that you are, and to discover how good it feels to be in that space and how much other people benefit from you being in that space. There is nothing more wonderful than a person who is unconditionally lined up with who they really are being in your presence. You all have been with people like this when their energy is so good that it's just fun and light and easy to be around them. Well, that's who you can be when you make you the priority. We invite you today to consider anything which might be holding you back from feeling at liberty to make your alignment the priority. Your alignment is the direct way to facilitate an expanded experience of everything you want, and yes, it's also possible to get things you want through using those other kinds of pathways. It's possible to get what you want on pathways in which you do things to please people and they give you things, pathways in which you work hard and because you believe in it, it produces results. They work the same way, law of attraction makes them real, because you believe in them and act upon that belief. What you think is real and important is what is real and important to you. So yes, those are options too. But we're suggesting an option that allows you to really experience yourself as you truly are, free. Free, and expansive and creative and thriving with radiant well-being and fulfilled in a sustained, steady flow of clarity and energy from within. That's the path we're talking about. Today we ask you to consider thoughtfully and gently if there is some part of you that feels if you really put yourself first, you might not be a good person. You might hurt others. You might be violating some unwritten taboo in your culture and in the world. If that belief system still exists within you, we would encourage you to spend some time thinking differently about what it might mean not just for you, but for everyone you care about and for the world at large if you were in a steady state of alignment and inherently fulfilled. We are complete. We are the Council of Radiant Light.